Hello there, dear viewer. My name is Colm, and with me today is the beautiful Adam Cook. Adam, how are you?
I don't feel so beautiful, mate. How are you?
I'm alright. You sound like you're fucking at the end of a beautiful bottle of Merlot. But I know you're not. You're just dying with sickness.
I was very, very drunk.
Right, what we are doing here is a kind of spoiler cast type deal on Game of Thrones Episode 3, which is called The Sword in the Darkness. I don't have it in front of me, and I should have. I believe it's called that. This is the third episode in Telltale's, I'm guessing, first season of their Game of Thrones adaptation.
Yeah.
And Adam, we are going to be breaking it down. So look, if you haven't played it and you are going to play it and you don't want to know anything, please leave now. Okay, so we start off with scene 1. With Asher, his uncle Malcolm, and Beshka in the desert. And this is basically where the dragon is introduced in the cave. And you get your first big choice here, whether it's to save Malcolm or Beshka. Now, I chose to save Malcolm because I thought, Beshka, you're a tough cookie. You can look out for yourself. And that's one thing I must say actually about this episode I did enjoy. I was given the option to say exactly that later on. I was thinking that Beshka could basically fend for herself, and I was able to say that exact bit of dialogue later on. But yeah, I chose to save Malcolm. Who did you choose to save?
Well, I'm going to just completely ruin this for you because I did the opposite. I chose Beshka because I thought he could handle himself, and I got the option to say that exact line of dialogue to him later. But I didn't. That's not why. That's not really why I chose her.
Why did you choose her?
I'm all about that pussy, innit, mate? You know. No, I don't know. I just thought that I may have misread it, but I get the impression that's his love interest, and I think the natural thing to do would be to save your love interest. And to be fair, this guy has, as you find out later, you've been kind of expelled from your family, and now they're coming back to you, oh, you must do this, that, and the other. And while I would of course go back to my family, it's also well. But I'm not just going to fucking start killing all my friends because they've been there, where you basically expelled me from where I'm from.
That's a valid point, really, to be honest. Yeah, fuck the family. So after that, I suppose the dragon itself, very lackluster, I found.
A bit of a... yeah.
I mean, this is the first time you're coming across a dragon in this side of Game of Thrones, and it just felt I don't know, I didn't feel the kind of how you feel when you see a dragon on the TV show or whatever, this big massive, I suppose, in awe of. I
think I'd have enjoyed it more if it had been kind of I don't know, in my head it was like I forgot I was playing Game of Thrones, and I almost wanted it to be like the dragon's going to defend me because I wasn't trying to hurt it, but these guys are, but that doesn't happen because it's a dragon, so it just kills everything, and it just... I think it suffers because it opens with Asher, and I think he's the weakest character,
he's
and
fucking
I think
shit.
He is, and I think that's possible. I mean, they open with him in the last episode as well.
They did.
And we'll probably mention it, but we may as well mention it now. Every time you go to Asher, I'm kind of, oh, really, him again?
We didn't see an awful lot of him in episode 2, and I was intrigued because he was a new element to the story in episode 2. I was like, okay, I'm willing to give this thread a chance, but it just does nothing up until the very end, which we'll get onto. Anyway, let's continue on, otherwise we'll be talking for the next 3 hours. Then we have Garrett in the wall. He becomes a ranger, and so does Finn, your kind of... Well, I suppose he's either your arch nemesis or you kind of make up with him. Did you decide to make up with Finn?
Is Finn the big guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, but that was weird. That whole scene's weird. You just make up with him super quick.
Yeah, and then Jon Snow says, "Good man." Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we need to put that behind us.
I'd be kind of interested to see what does happen if you don't, because it is weird. It's like Jon Snow's the narrator for a minute. It's like they're your brothers. You've got to go and all right, I'll go make up with him then. Oh, he's accepted it, and now we're suddenly best mates. Okay, and that continues. You sort of stay best mates. It's weird.
So then you're kind of sworn in, inducted. I don't know, whatever you'd call it, by the tree.
Yeah.
That was very peculiar because,
Yeah.
like, you have the kind of options of dialogue, but they're not options because you have to.
I thought you were
them.
supposed to get them in the right order at first. I wasn't sure what I was doing. Then I realised it's just you just click them one after the other. I thought it was like almost like a puzzle. Like, you know, you're a Game of Thrones fan, get these right, but it's not. You just click them one after the other.
I thought you found that incredibly weird and just pointless. Just either just have a cutscene or something.
I think it would have been too long if it was just a cutscene. I think they needed to give you some sort of player agency and make you do it. But yeah, I get you.
Perhaps, but it's and it's just, I mean, the still image of the tree. Fucking weird face tree. Then Duncan visited, which was interesting. To be honest, I should say, Garrett, actually, that whole plot is the one that does interest me the most out of all of them. But Duncan visited, and we got some bit of progression in that you found the map to, I suppose, go to the North Grove, and Garrett took out his little locket thing and found the way to the North Grove by placing it on the map and turning it around and stuff. Nice, nice for Telltale to add a slight bit of gameplay.
Yeah, it's different.
I found this episode very, very light on gameplay. I'm not one of these people that's, whatever, Gone Home is in the game or whatever, but it is nice to allow the player to do other things now and again rather than just, click on dialogue options. Then we had Mira in King's Landing with the coal boy. What's his name? Tom, I believe.
Tom, yeah.
And Marjorie was asking both Mira and Sarah, the two housemaidens, why Mira went to drink with Tyrion.
Yeah.
How did...
I found this bit all very confusing. I think we've spoken before on the podcast about how I struggle a bit with the names and the characters. And I felt this bit, I kind of couldn't remember. I actually couldn't remember what I was doing with Mira. Like, she was the one character I struggled with. I couldn't remember what I had agreed with Tyrion at all. So I sort of struggled through it, and I just said we went for a drink or something like that, and it was nothing. It was just a drink, which that kind of caught me out later on.
That's basically a problem with Telltale's release schedule, in that episode 2 was 2 months ago.
Was it?
So yeah, it was.
Yeah, that explains why I can't remember it then.
So,
I played like Borderlands in between then, And
it's only natural if you watched.
Yeah.
If you watch an episode of a TV show now and then 2 months later watch the next episode. Then I must say, then Cersei came on screen for about all of 40 seconds.
And she's brilliant.
And she's fucking brilliant.
Yep, she's brilliant. Like that, truly, you hate her. You hate her. She's brilliant.
So good. She's just like really. Then kind of went back to Roderick in Iron Wrath and the White Hills. Now a bit of progression here with Griff. I suppose being told that Griff is kind of coming into the place.
I really don't like the Roderick stuff.
So our main choice here was to whether all of the foresters were kicked out of their gaff, and they said, right, what the fuck are we gonna do? And Roderick said, right, we've two choices. We have to either save Ryan or expel Griff.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Ryan.
I also chose to save Ryan. And I suppose it's that Telltale kind of thing of, if I chose the other one, does it really matter? I'm not too sure. Anyway, went back to King's Landing, and Marjorie, she basically, she found out that Tyrion was helping Mira's family. She heard about this royal decree, because Mira, I told her as Mira. Did you tell her? Did you have the option to tell her at that stage?
I did something like that because it really made her angry.
Then I believe we went to Night's Watch, and Garrett got wind of the same man that murdered his family coming into the Night's Watch. That I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the fight scene later on as well. Back to King's Landing, Sarah and Mira, I suppose, talking over, and Sarah's like, look, can we be friends? I don't like it. And then Mira's like, yeah, okay, let's be friends, and everyone's friends if you want to be friends with them again. This was kind of interesting as a Game of Thrones fan. I'd imagine you were the same. Where how they dealt with spoilers for Game of Thrones, I suppose, how they dealt with Joffrey's death. I thought this was cool because it's like, alright, it's happening, but you're handmaidens, so you're kept away from the party, yet you see Tyrion being taken away. I thought that whole thing was interesting because you were chatting
they used
with
the audio
Lord.
from the show as well, didn't they? Like in the background where Cersei's screaming, "Don't you touch him! Get him out of here!" I'm pretty sure they used the audio from the HBO show, didn't they?
Possibly.
They must have done, surely.
So then Mira was like, "Oh shit! Now I have to go to Tyrion's chambers to get the decree for the Ironwood because of basically Tyrion being taken away," and that was that. So then Roderick and Duncan went to meet Gwyn of House Whitehill, and there, I suppose, when you go into the outskirts, what I believe to be the outskirts of Ironrath, the Ironwood has been chopped down, and Duncan offers Roderick a dagger, and you had you could take it or you could leave it off. Like, did you take the dagger?
No, I left it.
No, I took it, and but nothing happens.
Oh,
like,
when you meet her, does she have a dagger?
She does, and I think I believe she says something like, you come prepared, Mr. Bond.
To me, she just apologises and says like, sorry, I didn't know who would be coming.
So there you go. It's just pointless. Yeah. So Gwyn wants peace, and you can decide to tell her. Like, did you take an aggressive approach, or did you say, I was the same. I said, look.
I want peace because it secures my family's safety, basically.
Yeah, let's let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, yep.
And
obviously there's a bit there's a bit of a thing there between them, isn't there? Although she does say something about Asher.
She does. I didn't get any major sexual tension there.
I think she's crying out for a bit of his dicky.
So then... then she mentioned about there being a mole of sorts in CTU. This was kind of predictable, yet intriguing in a way. You could be like, okay. So then Roderick goes back to his gaff and he says, "Ma'am, fuck it, you'll never guess what, but this is what I chose. I said, Mammy, right, there's some bastard around here who's fucking going back to the White Hills and telling him about our plans." She's like, "What? That's ridiculous, carry on."
You revealed it?
I did. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
But it was like, it's my mother.
But surely. I think it's her that's doing it.
Da-da-da.
Because I think that they've said if you do this, we'll make sure the little boy's cared for. It's either her, I think, or your squire. Well, my squire, the aggressive blokey. Not.
I think we have the same guy, Royland.
Yeah, the Scarface chap.
Yeah.
I think it's either him or...
I think it's too obvious to be him. You're right.
That's what I think it's her.
It's probably the mother.
And it'll be the big, like they did in the show with... I forgot. See, again, this is the trouble. I've forgotten her name. The north, the woman from the north, the woman who in the red wedding, that, how she sort of goes behind his back, but doesn't mean to do it in a harmful way. But I just think it's that, personally. But I could be wrong. I mean, it could be the little girl. I don't know.
So then we had one of my... I enjoyed the part where the soldiers were simulating Ethan's death. I quite enjoyed that because I enjoyed it because of... To me, it kind of made sense in that the way I was playing Roderick was, trying to find peace, trying to whatever, and then when I had the chance to give your man a smack, it felt right, story-wise, to do so. Did you...
No, I didn't.
Sit back? Right, okay.
Right, and then that's my big problem with the Roderick stuff. When I said earlier I didn't like it, I feel that Telltale are pushing too far. I think they're pushing too far with that particular character because it's very clear that they want you to submit, but any sane human being is going to lash out. And I had to restrain myself. And the thing is for me, with the television show, it's different. You're passive. You're sat watching it. It's supposed to be everything goes to shit. Here, I feel like I'm active. I'm not a passive participant. And it's very uncomfortable. And I feel like they're kind of... There's no light at the end of the tunnel for these guys. And again, Game of Thrones-wise, spot on. But as an active participant, I found that a bit frustrating. So the bit, which you're probably going to mention, where you have to stay down on the floor or whatever, I kept staying down. And it just felt like, I don't like this. Which is good, I suppose.
I know what you're saying in that
You're not just watching a TV show. You, as much as people like to go on about how these games are, aren't games or whatever, they are, and you are participating in them by creating the story, by clicking things, by moving, by doing stuff. Whereas if you're just watching it, you are a passive participant, and you're just watching a show. This just felt like it pushed a bit too... I get... It didn't need to be there to be like, yeah, we get it. Everything's fucked in Game of Thrones. We get it. And this felt like just one push a bit too far for me. Again, that's probably a positive. You know what I mean? That sounds like I'm complaining. That's probably very well done, Telltale,
Right, to try and keep the ball rolling. Then we went back to the wall, and effectively we found out that Cotter, the kind of scrawny friend, he has been a wildling. And he's talking about helping Garrett to go to the North Grove. Yeah.
I kept his secret, did you?
I did. Yeah, I just...
There doesn't really seem much point in not.
Yeah, I was like, it's fine. You seem... You're alright. You're a bit of a...
He's not. He's a bit of a wanker, let's be honest.
He's a thieving cunt, but, I mean...
Now, to be honest with you, he's the one I'd have sparked out. After I had his back, then he steals your thing, and it's like, there's an dialogue option where it's like, you could have just asked. I did. Not really. You sort of asked and then stole it. I'd have sparked him out quite quick shot. What a wanker.
So then back to Asher.
And he looks like the bloke from The Office.
Mackenzie Crook.
Yep.
He's the fucking head off him. Then back to Asher. Load of shit. Then, you get the choice. You meet your old buddy. Well, he turns out to be an old buddy or something. And he's like, you tell him about the dragons. And he says, you didn't come across any dragons. And you can choose whether to show him the dragon tooth or Beshka's burns. Now, I chose to show Beshka's burns.
I bet you got the exact same sequence as me, even though I showed the tooth.
Because I felt if I showed the tooth that maybe I would have to relinquish the tooth, and I would like to keep it maybe for further on, but I doubt that will ever come into play.
No, I showed the tooth, and he basically says, how am I supposed to know what a fucking dragon's tooth is? And I would bet the same that you showed him the flames, and he's like, well, that could be anything. That could be anyone's flames, yeah.
So, again, Asher, load of bollocks, up until the very end, where you actually meet Daenerys. But that's it. So
how come all the female voice actors in this game are splendid, and the chap ones seem to be... in terms of celebrity ones.
In terms of celebrity?
I mean, that's every female that... I mean, I know Daenerys isn't there for a lot, but she knocks it out of the park.
Yeah. Then, I think this was the highlight of the episode for me, was Garrett's fight with the murderer. Because that was total Garrett kind of becoming a man for me, because I killed that motherfucker.
Right.
You didn't?
No, but he dies anyway.
Does he? So, I kicked...
Really annoyed me. That's my least favourite sequence, because it's made very clear by Jon Snow, you have to be the bigger man here. No matter what he does, you must not strike back. And every single time I try not to, the choice is taken away from me. That was the most annoying bit of the... I actually quite liked episode 3, but that was my least favourite bit, because he dies anyway, and that pissed me off. Because
so how does he die anyway? Because what happens to me, we have the big fight, and I think I stab him, as far as I remember, and then I get the option, he's kind of, writhing in pain, and you can either put him out of his misery, you can...
Right by the cliff top.
Yeah, you can
kick him off, or you can run away.
Yeah, all those things. I decided to kick him off.
Right, that's what I wanted to do. But no, the thing is that's not... Because he's in bad shape because you've stabbed him. But the thing is I never wanted to stab him, and I was never given the option that I was aware of not to. So in the fight scene, there's loads of little bits you can... there's loads of bits of the fight scene that you interact with. But some of them, you can do nothing. But some of them, if you do nothing, he just kills you, and it's, game over sort of thing. So that kind of annoyed me, because it's like, you're not actually giving me the choice here. I have to attack him, and I have to kill him. And I left him at the end, and he dies anyway. And I don't know what happens in yours, but if you leave him, the chap, I've forgotten his name, the big chap, Finn, I think he said it was, Finn sees you and just runs off. Which, to me...
Exactly the same.
I didn't get that. I was like, I thought we were best buddies now. How come you're just running off to tell on me? I don't get that. I enjoyed episode 3. That bit I particularly disliked.
So then what we already referenced, then we kind of finished up with Griff's fight with Roderick, and I'm the same. I submitted. It felt natural to just kind of say, all right, I will stay down. I found it strange though how, I don't know, my mother and everyone was kind of like, they seemed kind of like, yeah, you were right to stay down. Yeah, like I thought that there would be a little bit of backlash.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. Quite the opposite, actually.
No, I'd imagine if you fought back, maybe yeah. So yeah, but the very end of the episode, as I said, yeah, you meet Daenerys. Before that, you as Mira. Now this seems like I don't know how you can have two different outcomes here, because they're two very different things that you could do. As Mira, you have gotten the letter.
I actually think you've skipped one, by the way.
I believe I skipped Mira's.
Did you ask Tom for help?
Oh, I did skip that. Where they
they got to get in to get the parchment or the decree, and you can ask Tom for help or not. I asked him for help.
I asked him for help as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh well. But yeah, then you get to burn it. You get your thing and you get to burn it or keep it. Now, when she runs in and the option's like burn it, it's like, what? Why would I burn it? Why is that an option? I was really confused as to why I'd burn it. I thought the whole point was getting in there to get it to save my family. Like, why would I burn it now?
And thus ends this little spoiler roundup of Game of Thrones Episode 3, The Sword in the Darkness. Thank you very much for your time, Adam Cook. And
right.
I don't know, if people like this, maybe we'll do one for Episode 4. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off.
GFY. Hashtag GFY.
What? Hashtag GFY.
Go fuck yourself.
Hashtag shut up.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.